If you want to learn to perform magic with paper, you've come to the right place. Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to teach you several magic tricks that only rely on paper. We're going to show you the tricks first, and then we'll show you how to make them and perform them. Two boomerangs here, and you'll notice that the pink one is larger than the yellow one. So let's do a little magic spell here. If I just snap the finger, we're going to cause this yellow one to increase in size. And if I've been successful, check it out. I think that worked. The yellow one is now bigger than the pink one. But wait, there's one more thing I can do. If I just cause a little bit of a minor spell here, if I snap the finger, we'll enlarge the pink one just a little bit, and you'll now notice that they are the same size. Here's how to make your gimmicked envelope so you can perform the cut and restore effect. Take your envelope, just an ordinary envelope. It could be pretty much any size because you can cut it down to the size you need depending on what it is you're going to cut in half, or apparently cut in half. Seal the envelope first. Now take some scissors, you're going to cut the ends off. What you end up with is a tube made out of an envelope. Now, it's nice to have the clean front towards the spectator, so we're going to gimmick the back, the part that has the flap, the sealed flap. You're going to take your scissors and you're just going to cut a couple of slits here. Don't go all the way, but just go pretty much the full height of the envelope. And then when you push them back together, you end up with a tube that has two slits in it. It's the secret to the trick. Now let's talk about how you can perform the trick with your gimmicked envelope. So you have your envelope in hand, you have the slit right there in your envelope, and of course, as we showed you in the construction, you have the tube. So here's how you perform the trick. Take whatever object you're using. We're just using a piece of paper here. But you feed the object inside of the envelope, as you can see right there, and the spectator's view would be here, feeding the envelope through, and then feeding it through the other slit, there, and now the paper from the other side looks just like it's passed through the envelope too. But what you've done is actually slipped it out the back, and therein lies the secret. Now you're ready to perform the cut. Remember, don't turn it like this and show the spectator. You don't want them to see the back. But you take your scissors, and now the scissors go underneath whatever the object is, whether it's a bill or playing card, and you cut with the scissors, and from the front it looks as if you're cutting through whatever's inside. Now, helps to hold everything here so it doesn't come apart. Move the scissors. You've obviously clearly cut through. I like to hold it just for a moment so spectators can let that sink in, that somehow you've cut the object in half, the envelope or tube and the object inside, but then you can remove it and show that it's whole. And that's how you perform the cut and restore. Here's what you'll need for the trick. You'll need 2 sheets of paper. Helps to have different color papers. And you can use the same colors for the boomerangs, but you'll probably want to label them so there's a little bit different about them. For the trick itself, you'll need a pair of scissors. You'll want some type of pen or something to mark with. And what are these? What's the cup and the soup mug for? Well, this is so you can actually create your own boomerang. So let me show you how to do that. So let's set this aside for now. Take your 2 sheets of paper, line them up. What you're going to do is you have to go through the house and look for circles with bowls, plates, cups, whatever you have. I've chosen these 2 because what I want are 2 different diameters. Here's a diameter here and a diameter here. So the larger diameter object's going to create the outer diameter. The smaller one will create the inside diameter. So let me show you how that works. I'm going to take this, place it down. I'm going to trace along the edge. All I need is a semicircle, so let's just do that. And I have a semicircle. Now with this one, I'm going to use this small diameter here to make an inner diameter. Now it's important you try and get this lined up. So this is at the center here of the outer diameter. So I'm just going to estimate here. And let's draw an inner diameter. And that's looking pretty good. Perhaps it's not as even as I would like, but that's okay. For purposes of the trick, that will work. So we have an outer diameter semicircle, inner diameter semicircle. Line the papers up, and now you're going to use your scissors to cut this out. You want the 2 papers together because you want these to be identical. So let's do that. Now you have 2 arcs or rainbows, and the last thing you have to do is you're going to want to trim it somewhere about here so you don't have a semicircle. The trick works a lot better when you have a shorter arc. So I'm just going to eyeball that in. I'm going to do something right about there and something right about there. Now you have your boomerangs. Here's how to perform the trick. As we showed you in the construction, the boomerangs are the exact same size. It's just an optical illusion. Turns out that whichever boomerang is held on top always looks smaller. So no matter which way you hold them, the upper boomerang always looks smaller. And that's the secret. So all you have to do is just follow the storyline, just switch the positions and they'll seemingly change in size for spectators. You'll need 2 sheets of paper, same color. Of course, you can use white printer paper, it's just fine. You'll need some tape. Actually, the tape is optional, but it really helps. And I'll show you why it helps. And you'll need some glue, as well as some scissors. So let's get started. First of all, take your first sheet of paper and roll it into a cone. Use a piece of tape. And just for good measure, I'm going to put a piece of tape along this seam here. And now I have a fairly nice, clean tube. Second sheet of paper. Now this part gets a little tricky. What you're going to do is make something of a cone. but it's not actually a cone. You're going to want a rather small opening here. You might have to experiment a bit, and you're going to want to keep it fairly wide at the other end. You're just making another cylinder, but it's lopsided. One side is wider than the other. Take a piece of tape and hold it there. Helps to have two pieces of tape on here, because this admittedly is a little awkward. While this trick is great for little kids to perform, it's not an easy one for the kids to put together, so an adult might need to put this one together for the youngsters. We have our regular cylinder over here, and we have here a lopsided cylinder. What you're going to do is cut a line right here, so you want to straighten this out. Now take your scissors and do the same thing over here. I now have a cylinder that's slightly lopsided. Take this lopsided one and you insert it into the other cone or cylinder there. And that's looking pretty good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put some glue on the inside of here, so that will take and hold this right inside here. Now take your cone, place it inside, so you're adhering this cone to the other cylinder. But if you look from this direction, you'll see that there's this cone here inside, and there's actually room on the sides to put things. Over on this side, it looks fairly normal. And there. Now it's ready to perform the trick. As you can see, from this end, looks fairly normal. Something I would recommend is if you have some different colored tape here, like maybe in a red or green or something, you can put it along this edge and kind of seal it up. If you do this close up to people, they might notice that there's a slightly ragged edge here. So you can show the tube empty and still have room to hide things. And let's get into the explanation of the trick. Now you've made your tube, you're ready to set up for your trick. I happen to be using a handkerchief here, a very thin silk handkerchief. You can use confetti, you can use ribbons, whatever you can fit inside of the tube. So beforehand, I think you already know the secret from what we've taught you, but as you know, there is a secret compartment inside of here, and by using that little conical piece inside of the other one, it creates a forced perspective. That's what it's called. And it looks like the tube is normal, however, it is not. Beforehand, take your ribbons, confetti, whatever it is, and you're just going to place it into the tube along the side, right there. Now you're ready to begin the trick. You just walk out, you show you have a tube, and you can even do this so people can see that the tube is empty, and then all you do is snap your finger, reach in, and produce your handkerchief, your confetti, whatever it is that you want to bring out. Well, hope you have fun performing these tricks for your family and friends. Please give us a like and please subscribe for more tricks in the future. Thanks for watching. See you next time.